and girls. Welcome to lesson 4 of writing workshop. You'll need your writing journal later, but for now we're just going to start with our mini lesson. So today I wanted to talk to you about something that students do before they begin writing. And this is something that writers do. So I've had a student before a few years ago that was really good at this, and every year I notice students that take the extra time to do this step, and that is to really picture what you want to say and what you want to write before putting it on the page with a detailed illustration. So I had a student that she really took the time to, she would even close her eyes and really picture the whole story and the whole scene of everything that was happening in lots of detail before she would start to write it or draw any of the pictures at all. And that's a really important planning step when you're writing, because the more that we can picture what we want to say, then and the more details we can picture, then the more details that the reader can picture as well. So if you're picturing lots of details in your head and you're putting all of that onto your paper, well, then the person that reads your story later, they will be able to picture all of that. So if you don't picture very many details and you don't put very many details on your page, well, the person that's going to read your story, they maybe weren't there when that story happened to you. So unless you put it on the page, they're not going to have anything to picture, right? So the more details that you can add to your story, whether it's in the pictures or the words, hopefully, definitely the pictures, maybe both, then the more fun it will be for someone else to read your story. And so the teaching point today is that I want to teach you that writers have, when they have something that they want to write about, it helps them to get that topic. So whether they're going to write about a garden or a supermarket, it helps them to get that in their mind before they begin to write. And sometimes writers, like I said, they even close their eyes and picture the topic that they want to write about. And then they put all of the details onto the page with pictures and words. And so now I'm going to show you how I might do that. And the first thing I'm going to do is picture it. So it's not very exciting to watch me picture it, but it might look something like this if you were picturing your story. You might even close your eyes like this and really think about it. What do I want to say? And where was lots of details? And was anyone else there? What kind of day was it? So you might not actually ask those questions out loud, but you're taking that time to think in your head and picture all of those details. And so now I want to show you on paper the next steps that I would take. Okay, so here is my writing workshop journal. And you already saw me picturing my story in my head, and I guess you don't really know what I was picturing. I wasn't really explaining it to you out loud, but I was actually picturing our playground at Oster, and maybe if you've ever been to our playground at Oster, you can picture it too. Or if not, maybe you just picture a playground that you've been to before that you really like. And when I was picturing our playground, I was trying to imagine all the details that I could, because I'm not there right now, so I can't just go look at it, but I could try to picture as much as I can. And when I did that, I remembered that there's a bar over here to hang from. Okay, and then there's some monkey bars over here, and I think they might be in the shape of a circle. So you can kind of like monkey bar around. I might be wrong. I'm really trying to picture. And then there were steps. It's kind of hard to draw steps. But they go up to like a little, there's like a little platform that you could play on. And it has like a little roof on it. And then that leads over to like kind of like a little bridge. It's a really fun playground. And then over here, I think there's kind of like wiggly steps, you know, like that has kind of like a chain connecting the bars. So it's like a little bit hard to climb. And there's also like a spiral ladder. So you can climb up really high. There's a pole going down it. And you could climb up the ladder. And then, of course, there's like a little fence to protect people so they don't just go off. And this also has a little roof. And then there's a big slide. I'm trying to remember. It might be a little bit wiggly, but it's not like really wiggly. Well, it's pretty wiggly. There's actually another slide on the other side too, but you wouldn't see it from here. And then there's a big tree over here too, like a really big tree. And this playground actually has tan bark as the ground. That's what's on the ground in there. So it's kind of hard to draw a lot of tan bark, but I'll just go like that because it's not smooth like sand. It's like kind of bumpy and it's chunky. So I have all these little pieces. Oh, this needs like a ladder to get up to it. Okay, well, that is my playground. Okay, my playground. Okay, and there's the slide. And then, yep. Okay, that's all my details. I really thought about it and pictured it, and I put all the details I could think of. Okay, so now that we've taken some time for you to watch me get my story onto paper, at least for a little bit, because if I wasn't doing a video, I would spend a lot longer working on my story. You can really sit and work on a story for a long time, but I don't want to make you watch a really long video. Now I want you to kind of practice before you head over and actually start writing. I want you to just kind of practice envisioning something, envisioning a story. And so later, when you are ready to write in your journal, you don't have to write about a playground, but just for now, for the sake of practicing, I want you to picture a playground that you know well, just like I did earlier. And I want you to really picture it and maybe picture how many swings does it have? Does it have a slide? Does it have a tire swing? Does it have a seesaw? Does it have tan bark or sand? Or maybe it just has like that bouncy ground that's really solid, but it's kind of squishy. Or maybe there's a ladder or something else fun. Maybe there's a big steering wheel that you can play with. And so just picture it. And maybe picture a day when you were actually there. What did it look like? Was it a nice day? Was there anyone else there? And I want you to just take your finger, your magic finger, and maybe start to sketch it out on, if you're sitting on the ground, you can do it on the ground, or maybe at a table, you can sketch it out onto the table or the ground with your magic finger and start to draw. Okay. There was the slide, and there was the ladder, and over here there was the swings. Just take a minute to do that. And later, if you do want to start a new story today, you can do it about a playground, or you can do it about something else. But before I let you go, I just want to remind you of some things that are really going to help you write a detailed and really fun story. And that is, again, that once writers have something they want to write about, they like to picture that topic in their head. Really picture it in their mind and maybe close their eyes. And then once they have all those details in their head, then they go and they put all of those details on paper in pictures and words. And the other thing that I want to remind you is from our first, second, and third lesson, which we've had, is that to be a problem solver today, if you come across any problems, you never know when one might come up, and to just try your best to solve the problem yourself. And also to reread your story and keep adding to it. Because remember, once we're done, we've just begun. Okay, so have fun.